A lot of people ask me silly questions like, is there talent in Jamaica? Well, I said, no, you got to think about it. 65% of the Canadian NBA players, I think, are of Jamaican descent. The talent that we celebrate in is Jamaican and Caribbean DNA.
I think the number one goal is to get 11, 12 guys working in unison.
Since our last video on the Jamaican National Basketball team, a lot has changed. Team Jamrock in their first outing since the acquisition of Norman Powell just washed the Bajan team and left them fresher than Terry Linen. But we'll get to that story in just a few moments. Powell, already the team's most notable player, was recently traded from the Los Angeles Clippers to the Miami Heat. On July 7th, the Heat sent Kyle Anderson and former NBA champion Kevin Love to the Clippers in a 3-team deal that saw Miami acquire Powell, who's coming off his best shooting year. This worked out great for Powell as the Jamaican team had their 2027 World Cup pre-qualifiers training in Florida. Speaking of which, the team has finalized their roster for the pre-qualifiers, and while it's unfortunate to not see more of an NBA presence, Powell has followed through and saw his first minutes in the opening matchup against Barbados. Some of you, like myself, may be wondering what happened to all the NBA players that were supposed to join the team. There were no Thompson twins, no Champagne twins, no Devin Vassell, not even Nick Richards or Josh Minot were around to play for Team Jamaica. Did these guys give up on the process or what? Well, to start, we do know that tryouts were held in Florida and the final roster consists of these 12 players. As you can see, only one NBA player is on the final roster at the end of training camp. This, however, didn't stop Jamaica from pounding Riri's backyard talent into oblivion 101-79. Let's take a look at how they did it, what issues the team might find going forward, and just what the hell is going on with the rest of the talent that is supposed to be on this team. You're about to get switched. After heavily recruiting stars from the NBA, the team held tryouts for the men's team in order to prepare for the World Cup pre-qualifiers. That team they selected is a very talented group, and with their recent win over Barbados, there might be something special brewing even before the advent of a few new NBA caliber players joining the roster. One of the major factors we have yet to discuss is the Jamrockers head coach.
So my name's Rick Turner. I'm the head coach for the Jamaican National Basketball team and national coordinator.
The team is currently coached by Rick Turner, a former Seattle Supersonics front office associate, which in this specific case meant that he worked directly with the director of scouting as well as former NBA head coaches. This went on for about 10 years before Turner, originally from San Francisco, California, set his sights on Jamaica, starting a number of projects including the jump ball basketball program, which he started following his arrival in Jamaica in 1999.
I've been coaching professionally for 25 years now. It doesn't seem that long. I don't feel that old.
20 years later, he became a part of the men's national team as the head coach. During this project, he moonlighted in other roles across the world, including the Continental Basketball Association, what used to be a pro league in the US, and the Chinese Basketball Association. In 2011, Turner published his own memoir titled, "If My Name Was Phil Jackson, Would You Read This?" If you don't know who Phil Jackson is, he was the head coach of the Chicago Bulls during their dominant era, winning 6 championships, as well as the Lakers when they three-peated with Kobe following the end of the Bulls dynasty. All that is to say, Coach Turner brings a lot of experience, more specifically over 30 years as either a head coach or studying the inside outs of operations and management. It was no surprise then that Team Jabba easily disposed of Team Baba. Let's just call them Team Riri for the time being. For the Bajans, only 2 players were in double-figure scoring. The first being Kyrone Alexander, a 6'4" guard who just finished up his second year at Boston University, who led all scorers with 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists while shooting 6 of 14 from the field and 3 of 7 from three-point range. His most impressive stat of the night, however, was his 13 of 13 from the free throw line. He had some help on the offensive end from Akeem Marsh, who had 16 points on 7 of 13 from the field. Without Daroni Hurley's 6 assists and incredible 6 steals, however, the Bajans wouldn't have been in the game at any point during the 40-minute beatdown. The Bajans won every last one of the 25 minutes he played. So what was Team Jamaica's edge? Let's put it this way. The Jamaicans had more shooters in Mexico than in Kingston during this matchup. While the overall 12 for 33 from distance shows only a 36% outing overall, Jabba was striping it at 43% from three-point range by the halftime buzzer. This included Giovanni Fraser, who went 2 of 2, Kenton Facey, who was 2 of 3, and the leading scorer for Jamaica, Thomas, who drilled a disgusting 4 of 8 from the three-point line. Not only did the 6'9" forward drop 20 points in his 21 minutes, he also grabbed 10 rebounds and 4 assists. Thomas, who was born in the Bronx, last played in France for US Avignon in the 2021-2022 season and has only been playing for the national team since then. Easily the player of the game. But this was obviously a team effort. 7'2" Romaro Gill, the starting center for the team, was an absolute monster in the paint with 19 points and 11 rebounds while shooting 8 of 10 from the field. Whether it was dominance on putbacks or terrorizing in transition, he was an incredible force on the court. Not surprising, as he played 2 years in the Big East Conference for Seton Hall before playing in the NBA Summer League for the Lakers as well as the NBA G League in 2022. Kenton Facey contributed 15 with efficient shooting and defense, while the most prominent face on the team, Norman Powell, had a bit of an interesting game. The Bajans were not taking any chances. As soon as Powell even sniffed possession, he was swarmed by multiple defenders. Clearly his reputation preceded his presence. With 12 points on 3 for 7 shooting, Powell used his experience to first get to the line as he kept drawing fouls on his defender, leading the team in free throws, making 5 of 6 attempts and 2 steals. A bit of a pedestrian game for Powell. However, his drawing the double teams put his teammates in a better position every time he was on the floor. I expect as he gets used to the Fiba style of play and he gets more comfortable, we'll see what Powell could really bring to this team. And that's really what is so impressive about this Jamaican team and what they could accomplish. It's clear that the team needs time to build chemistry. However, imagine a team with a fully integrated Norman Powell and the NBA talent that are the Thompson twins, among others. Speaking of these players, why didn't we see them show up in the game or even on the roster for that matter? I decided to do a bit of digging to determine what hurdles stood in front of Jamaica having 5 or even more NBA players on their roster. What I found wasn't good. So to recap, a lot of players have shown interest in playing for the team. Amena Nassar Thompson and Devin Vassell are just a few names. Vassell even recently visited the island to show a level of commitment as his Jamaican roots come from his father's lineage. His visit included working with students at the high school level and had this to say about the experience.
I'm going to try and talk to some of the other guys and some of the other names that I've been hearing to see if they want to play. I can't speak on them, but I can definitely tell you that I want to. My dad is from out here. I'm not obviously from out here, but I have descent from out here, and this is my first time coming to a high school and seeing it and seeing exactly like what is needed, what resources, what everything that they need, and I just want to pour back into the community.
So what gives? As it turns out, the reality is a mix of red tape and timing issues. The Jamaica Basketball Association confirmed that the Thompson twins and Vassell started acquiring Jamaican passports, but as of July 2025, their documentation wasn't finalized per the Jamaica Gleaner. FIBA's strict rule limiting teams to 1 naturalized player, those who gained citizenship after age 16, meant Jamaica could only field Powell in this slot for the Barbados game. JABA President Paulton Gordon noted they're appealing this rule to allow more naturalized players, but it's unlikely to change before November 2025. Meanwhile, young stars like the Thompsons and the Champagnes are grinding for bigger NBA roles, and skipping FIBA games for training camps is standard for players still establishing themselves. The Jamaica Observer suggests the Champagne twins haven't committed yet, likely prioritizing their Spurs and Wizards obligations. Vassell, who expressed interest in July, may also be held back by Spurs commitments or a minor injury recovery, a common off-season focus. He stated that he's in talks with other players in the league to gauge their level of interest, however expressed unequivocally that he's committed to playing for the team. Nick Richards and Josh Minot, both committed to play in August per basketnews.com, missed the Barbados game likely due to last-minute FIBA eligibility snags. Richards, who doesn't face a naturalization issue as he was born in Kingston and has represented Jamaica before, as well as Minot, are expected to join in the future, possibly by November 2025, if JABA clears these hurdles. Although their appearances might still be difficult with the NBA schedule, one wonders if these rules favor the US and European countries. That being said, it's up to FIBA at this point. This is still just the beginning, and Jamaica currently ties Mexico, who just beat Costa Rica in Group A, which consists of the 4 teams Jamaica, Barbados, Costa Rica, and Mexico. The top 2 teams out of this group will advance to the qualifiers, which will take place in November of this year. Let me know your thoughts on the game as well as the players being recruited to play for Team Jamaica. Should FIBA keep the rules in place regarding the number of naturalized players, or does that defeat the purpose of having a citizenship entirely? Post your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all your notifications so you don't miss any of my latest uploads. Thanks for watching. Till next time, swoosh.